Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Islands of Adventure. Today is going to be a little bit different because I, as your ever walking host, will be Jeremiah going into Islands of Adventure. But back at LPHQ East Coast 2.0, we have Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jeremiah.
So, Lee is a new Laughing Place member. You've been with us a couple of months?
Yeah, since December now, so it's been a couple months.
Has it been December? Well, I can't believe that it's March now. So,
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
so today we are going to just stroll around Islands of Adventure, enjoying some of the beauty. We decided to do this. Good morning, Tammy. Tammy is from Down Under, Lee. In case you didn't know, she is from Kingman, Australia.
Hey,
Uh,
Tammy.
don't worry, there's lots of in jokes that Doobie has set up for many months now that we will go over.
Ah,
Today
beautiful.
we're three parks more epic than ever. We're here mostly because we're celebrating that Universal's epic adventure, epic theme park, epic, uh, is starting back up its construction. So hopefully that will be not too in the not too distant future. That was hard for me to say. And
I
by
always
doing
love
that,
the background music in here.
I so when this opened in 99, yeah, 99, um, I was working at Universal. So this was the big thing that was happening. I was working at Universal Hollywood. This was the big thing that we all talked about, how exciting it was. I was lucky enough to come out while it was still just mountains of dirt and get a tour from the backside of the Universal Park of what this was going to be from the attractions manager. And he was telling me, oh, this will be this and this will be great. And I came here, and we all know.
Do we?
Trying to get in. There we go. I always have a problem getting into Universal because they still do. Well, not they still do. They are doing the biometrics still,
Ah,
and for some reason, the biometrics here, as opposed to the ones at Walt Disney World, have always had a problem reading my finger. So I've had to switch my finger around multiple times, and anyway, that's what that delay was. So we all talked about how amazing it was, and of course, this park was mostly designed by former Imagineers who were let go from Disney after the Disneyland terrorists. I don't want to say tragedy, but how that was kind of a failure. And before they were working on Animal Kingdom, they started working on this by grabbing everybody. But coming out here, the first thing I bought was the soundtrack for the park,
hey,
which is
Universal.
wow. We have Universal Orlando following us. So, Universal Orlando, if you'd like us to go anywhere, please tell us. We are Walking Islands Adventure. But
I love this park.
no, this entrance area, I mean, I would used to say it rivals Main Street, but it is above Main Street. The story, the sounds, and just the displays are so amazing here.
Yeah, yeah, I love this entryway. And just, again, the music. It gets me
Yeah.
every time.
No, and the little in jokes like the fire brigade moving closer to the water because there it is, and then the water is far away, and they have these beautiful little signs. I was lucky enough to do one of the tours. I want to say it was the during Christmas, and when the VIP lounge was open on the upper level up here, for the tour, we actually got to walk out onto that overpass bridge and look out. And that was probably one of my favorite things I've done at this park in a long time, just to look at everybody and to look out across the water.
Yeah, that's so cool. This area we're coming up to, if you keep going straight ahead and you go to the lagoon in the center, just a beautiful view you could get of the entire park.
Yeah, we're going to head into the U-Rest area just so we can look across at VelociCoaster, which hopefully today we'll see some testing. If not, we'll definitely get an up-close look at it because the walls have been taken down so you can see inside the new species of roller coaster.
We got the Hulk to the left.
So what is your feeling on the Hulk? Do you still do Hulk?
Yes, I love the Hulk. It's pretty
I
cool. I love the launch.
I used to love the Hulk, and the only reason I don't love the Hulk anymore is because I feel like I finally hit that point in life where doing the Hulk hurts. And even
Yeah,
with the newly updated, I just hit that point where I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
I could understand that.
Yeah, so we had the Sneeches in the water. I don't know how well you can see it, but the Sneech that is fishing, there is a bird sitting on his stomach.
I could barely make it out. I can't really see it.
Yeah, it's this one right here. That's the biggest problem. I have this discussion with Doobie all the time. Um,
You see Tammy's question?
yes, they do have a disability access here at Universal. It's something that it's very similar to the Disney where you go and you receive a return time. Tammy, I know you're still visiting at some point, but if you visit this park, you go to the guest relations and they can set it all up for you. It's
Cool.
very easy.
Did they used to give you a return time, or is that something different?
They give you the return, they'll go off the what the wait time is. As I've never experienced it, with the exception of um, around the Halloween Horror Nights time. So I'm not overly familiar with it.
Yeah.
You can kind of hear in the distance the Dr. Seuss High in the Sky trolley is down and restarting. Oh, here comes Hulk.
So awesome.
Yeah. It's
That
still an
little dip it
amazing.
does underneath the bridge is
Yeah.
so cool.
No, I love the Hulk. It's just, it doesn't love me anymore.
So
So
we starting off at Seuss?
we are starting off at Seuss. Since just last week was Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Do they still have the lemonade stand on that left-hand side?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, lemon
Lemon
slush.
slush.
So it looks like they're the Hagrid's virtual return time is back a thing because they have the QR codes. This is the second sign that I've seen regarding the virtual line experience for Hagrid.
Ah.
I think
Well,
because they're
it makes
starting to
sense with
ramp
spring
up.
break coming in.
Yeah. Seuss Landing is definitely one of my favorites. And again, going back to when it first opened, before we had to worry about safety spiels and um, a lot of the spinning, Cat in the Hat and One Fish, Two Fish were two of the best attractions because of the spinning in Cat in the Hat and the constant rhyming of One Fish, Two Fish. Now with the safety spiel, it kind of messes up some of the safety or some of the narration, but it's still a great, it's a great Dumbo attraction. Plus, just walking through this land and catching all the little sounds and everything.
Has a
You
lot
can,
of great details. I love how everything's curved and
yeah,
nothing's straight.
the exploration of this land is one of my favorites. They did an amazing job, and still, this still ranks up there as one of my favorite themed lands.
I do enjoy Cat in the Hat. Good ride.
They actually went through recently and did some work on it. So most of the
Oh,
effects are updated and looking great. When I went on it, I want to say last week or the week before, um, it felt almost brand new.
oh, cool.
So yeah, that's one of the nice things about Universal is they've definitely taken the time to update their attractions as all of this has been going on. Looks like we got the Lorax, Sam, and the Grinch all up here just hanging out, taking socially distant selfies. Weird trio. Oh, and they just did, oh, the stories you'll hear.
All right.
This is definitely one of the things that I feel like Universal has done over the Disney parts with the character interactions, where here there are multiple and they'll switch out. Where Disney, you know, it's kind of like, okay, you want to see Mickey and Friends? He's on the train station. Country
Mm-hmm.
Bears, they're in one location. Here, you'll see all of the Dr. Seuss characters throughout the day, and then some other ones will pop up in different places.
Yeah, that is nice. Although I could also see why you would want to make sure that certain characters are in certain spots and you're not
Absolutely.
looking for them everywhere.
The one thing I will be very excited for, and I will admit I will probably cry, is the first time I get a hug any character anywhere. So I really hope like there isn't some random Spider-Man out as the first character I see, because he may wonder why I'm crying on him.
You just love Tom Holland.
Did you? One of the things you'll learn, Lee, is we go off on tangents. But did you see the Twitter will give you a bio thing that they did
Twitter
last
would give
week?
you. No. What are we
So
talking about?
Twitter tweeted out, "Hey, let us know and we'll give you a bio. Just tweet at them and they'll give you some funny bio or something." So Spider-Man No Way Home tweeted at them, and their bio was Spider-Man No Way Home something something something, starring Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. And it was just totally a shot at what are we going to see in the next film, and it just was so funny that they would do that. So now we are in the Lost Continent, home of
Oh, it looks like
Mythos.
Mythos doesn't have the water running.
Yeah, it was off last week also.
Maybe they're doing some refurb work on it.
Yeah, it definitely looks, there are times where the green beard sticks out, but it looks like it's all nice and clean. Sadly, Poseidon's Fury is not open. Have you seen Raya?
I have.
So I don't think this will spoil much, but I kind of felt like the beginning when Raya is going into the temple. If Disney
Mm.
bought this, they could retheme this as that temple. Um, but this again, beautiful show building. I loved the show, and I've gone through pretty much every iteration of the story. So it's always been interesting to see when it comes back after a break what's going to happen. You know, the water tunnel is always the key, and the disappearing, reappearing room. But having the archaeologist and then Poseidon and Lord Darkanon.
Is Mythos still an award-winning restaurant?
Yes, it is. Well,
Okay.
it's awarded best theme park restaurant, theme park insider. It used to say, I think, 96, 97, 98, and then they just took off the year. But Mythos is still a great restaurant. The times I've eaten there, I've enjoyed it.
I like it as well. Yeah, I try to think that they took off the years just because it's timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great show building. It's
And
also really
again,
cool inside.
yeah, the only thing that kills me is the queue inside when you're in between shows and it's the 20-minute time and you're just standing in that hallway, and the echo chamber in there can get a bit loud when there are large groups around.
Yeah. Got some stores all around us here.
Yep, Fire Eater's Grill.
Have you ever
I
been to Fire Eaters?
I have not. I was thinking about that the other day. You know, they have definitely
I think they
more
have like
of
heroes and stuff, right?
yes, yeah, chicken fingers, chicken salad, chicken
I've always been
stingers,
tempted. Maybe one time. Maybe next time
and
I go.
Nathan's hot dogs.
Well, I mean, if it isn't a Nathan.
Yeah. Over here, they actually have brought the characters from Madagascar, and they'll
Oh,
park the truck there. You know, it's the team members from the parade, and they dance, and they usually have one of the characters out.
I
So
like the
today,
theming of that rope.
yeah, it was very nice when I walked by the first time, because usually they don't have the well, they don't have really any characters over here. They put She-Ra over here a little bit before the shutdown, which I never got a chance to see. But having Madagascar characters is very interesting. So the virtual line, it looks like you're going into the old Sinbad arena before you go into the virtual queue.
Oh, yeah, definitely doing that virtual line. Got all
Yeah.
the A-frames up. Wow, and look at all that queue space. Holy cow.
Well, some of that over there is for the train, which currently has an 80-minute wait, 80-minute wait to travel to Universal Orlando or Universal
Wow.
Florida.
Spring break is here.
Yeah. Hogsmeade Village still. Yeah, I mean, look at here is the prime example. I'm sure that watching this, people are having anxiety attacks just looking at all these people. Um, so I could almost swear that the other times I've seen the conductor, he's had a mask on, but he's also been closer. So I'm guessing because of the distance, he no longer has a mask on.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Universal Orlando, at least their entertainment typically wears masks.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, that is busy.
yep. It is definitely a busier day. Um, yeah, no wait, no standby for Hagrid's, all virtual. Over there for Three Broomsticks, there is a gathering outside. It looks like the queue to get in. I'm going to cut off the main thoroughfare and go through the back alley.
Sounds smart.
But also, we can see the owlery. Nope, Alex, there is definitely not. Also, anybody that's watching, anybody has any comments, questions, requests for me to do silly things, I will probably say no to them, but hey, you can ask anyway.
Yeah, at least the snow hasn't melted yet.
I know, it's very cool. Actually, today is a very nice day out.
It is a very nice day, so can understand why it's so busy.
Uh, I feel like for the next 2 weeks, we'll be looking at this level of crowds at the lowest, and
Yeah, for sure.
then all of a sudden it'll drop right back down. So here's one of those things that I've seen people talk about, but I've not actually seen in person. They have Hagrid's umbrella wand.
Are you wearing some Universal gear today?
I am. Well, I have a Mr. DNA shirt on. I try not to come to the parks in the Disney gear or vice versa. Although last week, after doing my walk and talk over at Universal, I went to Disney Springs and had a Universal shirt on, and only one cast member called me out. But it was quite entertaining walking through, going, "Oh yeah, I have my black retro Universal shirt on."
Jerry wants to know what your favorite ride is.
Um, it really depends on what we're talking about. I
Let's
here
let's
it's
do
definitely
islands.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man still to this day is probably one of the best attractions ever created, and that goes for any theme park.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I would say either Spider-Man or Forbidden Journey.
Yeah, Forbidden Journey definitely was a groundbreaking. I mean, those two attractions I feel like changed a lot of the way we look at theme park attractions overall. So we're looking at the tail end of VelociCoaster that runs right behind the Three Broomsticks, which to me, we always heard the stories of how um, JK and her theming and can't have Coke in the land or anything. But this coaster butts right up against the seating area for Three Broomsticks, so it's always been interesting.
Right to those magic limits right there.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see. So underneath us, there are fish, and they're all sticking their head out through the water and just like waiting for food to drop down.
Seen any other live streamers there today?
No. Most of the time, I feel like I don't want to brag too much, but we always live stream no matter what, if there's something going on or if there's just nothing going on. I saw that pop up really quick. Hang on.
Yeah, let's get
Uh,
some Hogwarts shots before we go into Jurassic Park. That
but
castle is just so cool.
yeah, again, for the Christmas VIP tour, they did the Christmas lights on there, which they had been doing sort of for regular guests. Like they would have it going where it just changed the background. But after we did both parks, we came over here and it was just the VIP guest or the guests that paid for the VIP tour. And we all stood in front of Hogwarts and they did the full show that they do normally during Christmas time. And we have that up on our YouTube. And the only thing that was missing was the pyro. So just watching that was a fun thing.
Ugh,
Have
I
you been
love
to
that view.
Yeah,
I could just get like, yeah, go ahead.
have you been to Hogsmeade out in California?
I have.
It's not quite the same.
No, yeah, it's really weird because like 95% of it is the same.
Yeah. I knew some of the managers for Hogsmeade Village out there, and hearing the stories, like probably the biggest difference is the Ollivanders, where their Ollivanders is on the left side, ours is on the right, but theirs is much like Ollivanders in Diagon Alley, where they have multiple rooms to accommodate multiple guests. And having the queue set up, it was just the smallest change made it different, but they also patterned theirs more off the one in Japan because, again, theirs came later, so they had more space for it.
VelociCoaster.
Summer 2021, and hopefully by summer they mean sometime soon. So this is going to be the entrance, which when I figured out where this was before they put up the sign, to me it's just a bit strange because this was just pretty much a walkway that nobody went to because the visitor center exited out in the back and then you could come out this way. So it's a great use of a space that was being underutilized. And then there is the pillars with the velociraptors. At least we think they're velociraptors. They're wrapped in plastic, so we don't know for certain. But you can see their claws sticking out at the bottom, which is great.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I feel like this will be an interesting test of virtual queue versus standby and how that's going to work for this park.
So it's supposed to open up as a standby queue?
I don't know. They've not said
Oh, okay.
anything. That's the biggest question. I think back to when the park first opened Hagrid's and they had the standby queue that went all the way out to Seuss Landing, and then they started doing more of the virtual queue. Here's another beautiful view of Hogwarts.
Yeah. Just get yourself a butterbeer and enjoy the
Okay,
view.
so we play popcorn or churro at times on here. Frozen butterbeer or regular butterbeer?
I like the hot butterbeer.
Yes. I wasn't the biggest fan of hot butterbeer unless it is really cold and I need it. I always go regular butterbeer, but then I learned um,
I like that. Velociraptors.
tours. Very,
Oh,
very funny.
so good.
In Diagon Alley, where you can get the butterbeer ice cream, in the bar that's not the ice cream parlor, you can get the butterbeer and the butterbeer ice cream. And I would get both, drink down some of the butterbeer, put the ice cream in the butterbeer and make a butterbeer float, and then go into sugar shock later on. But
Wow.
it was definitely worth it.
Wow, yeah, you're playing chess while all of us are playing checkers.
Uh, it it was one of those things of the first time I did it, I was like, let me try this, and then just fell in love. But it is one of those things that I can only do maybe once every 5 or 6 visits, just because it is so sweet.
That is next level. Hey, over by the burger place that we passed by, is that
Yes.
still open where you could like explore and see the dinosaurs and all that?
The visitor center, the downstairs. We'll head back there. We're only 28 minutes in, and we're at Jurassic Park, so we got some time to kill. Um, the lower level is only open to Universal annual pass holders for like a dining area. So I
Oh,
know Gideon is very sad because he loved all of the interactive stuff on the lower level and watching the Velociraptor hatch and everything. But we'll
yeah, I was
stick our.
really impressed with everything they had down there.
I was impressed when they first did it. I actually showed the technology to a friend last one of the few times before it closed up, and where they scan the face and do that. Yeah, that technology needs to be updated just a little bit. So yeah, the burger digs.
Yep, so you got the QSR on the right-hand side, and then over here's the interactive area.
Yeah, so Universal annual pass holders. Um, they deliver the food to you down there.
Wow, that's really nice.
It actually looks like all the interactive stuff there. Looks like there's a wall covering some of it. You can't
Yeah.
really see, but that's all kind of blocked off. And they have a condiment station down there for the annual pass holders. And then we got a giant T Rex right in front of us. I guess not a giant T Rex, a T Rex right in front of us.
That's a great little perk right there.
Yeah, Universal has takes care of their pass holders, and I've been a pass holder since I think I'm going on 8 years in June, and it's a pass that I've always kept. And there are definitely been times where I'm like, I don't use it that much, but then the free parking pays off if you just want to come over for a little while. They always have discounts. Every month they give a new button to annual pass holders, and every couple of months, every quarter they do a magnet. And like this month, they had a buy one get one free of the refillable sippers. So you could, for $14, $16, you could get two of those, and for the entire day get refills.
Wow.
And then when you come back the next time, you just bring it back and you reactivate it for a certain amount that is discounted, and then you can go enjoy again.
One of my favorite signs right here, the pizza sign.
Yes, I like that they opened this up because I always felt before VelociCoaster and before moving the games over here, this area was kind of underutilized. I know that they put the raptor encounter there for a little bit when they moved it away from the old Triceratops encounter while they're breaking ground for VelociCoaster. So
Oh, we got some more
it's
VelociCoaster right here.
yep, 15-minute wait for a raptor encounter, which doesn't look like it's moving that quickly, but we have the VelociCoaster coming soon. So we're going to be looking through bars. I don't want to try to stick. Oh, actually, let me see.
Whoa, we just went next level.
If the
We have
coaster
the
was running,
technology.
I would not be doing this. But so this is one of the launches. I want to say there are three launch spots on this attraction. So we don't know, you know, we know that the coaster comes down and then goes that way, but I have not seen it running. The videos I've seen haven't really given me the detail that I want to see how this coaster will go through everything. But it's amazing. I mean, that shot right there, that is a perfect shot. All that's needed is a coaster either going through the loop or coming down that bottom drop.
It's just beautiful, and the coaster is so smooth.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's one of those things that, when the soft opening starts happening, no matter what's going on, I will be here.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with all the detail because I didn't know what to expect in terms of when you're on the coaster, but I mean, they have so many trees and just rock formations everywhere. It's really impressive looking.
No, this, as the tagline goes, the new species of coaster. I cannot wait for this to see how this will all end up. I know it will be one of those things of I'll be lucky to be here the first few days of the soft opening, and then the only time I ever go on it again will be if I can score a virtual wait time at some point because it will have a long wait.
Hmm.
So we're coming up to the river adventure. Oh yeah, the queue for the raptor encounter is probably one of the longer times I've seen it. It goes down into the old queue for the river adventure.
Oh wow. Well, when VelociCoaster opens, that might help Hagrid's.
Yes, here is like the raptor. Um,
Oh, number 5. That's where I was.
Number five is still alive. Yeah, this this would be one of those times where I'd love this shot right here of a coaster
Wow.
flying past.
Oh, I wish they were testing it right now. So cool.
Yeah, I have not been lucky enough to see any of the tests other than the videos, but I do feel like when I am finally here, either for a test or for an opening, I will be sitting here videoing the trains going by over and over again for no reason other than it's just going to be a sight to see. When I was here
Yeah.
last week, my favorite thing was standing in this general area and listening to the guests. That there's the sign right there that says opening 2021, and they'd walk up to the team members and be like, "Is this open? When can we go on this?" You and I both working in theme parks know that the old saying, they check guests check their brains at the door.
Oh yeah.
Let's go down to the splashdown for Jurassic. I know that Doobie and I did Camp Jurassic one time, and the signal in there really drops out at times, sadly. But
Oh
I love Camp Jurassic. It is a fun place to play, especially on those slow days where it's you and five other people in there, and you're all playing at the water gun, squirting each other.
no, don't get wet here. We don't want to get your camera soaked.
No, the things that I have done. Oh yeah, looks like they're limiting Jurassic to, I believe it was every other row. Um, so when on last week, it had a bit of a wait, but not anything too horrible. It's much like Disney. The wait can be deceiving because social distancing.
Yeah. That also depends on the weather. You don't want to get soaked when it's cold outside.
Yeah. Well, I don't want. One of my favorite attractions that I never go on, Bluto's Bilge Rat. Bluto's Bilge Rat Barge. Woo, there's a spray. Um, I love that attraction. It is so much fun. But that is you are guaranteed to be soaked. And I'm never a fan of having wet shoes and socks.
I
I
also
know.
love the rock work right there. So good.
Yeah, this you know it, this being the second generation of Jurassic, they definitely made some improvements over the one in Hollywood.
Ah, just looks so beautiful.
And now we're going to head to that dark corner of Jurassic Park, King Kong Land. There's a construction wall that's been here for a while that really no clue what's going on in this.
Hmm.
Are you a fan
Now we
of
got the
Thunder
other.
Falls?
Yeah, I like that QSR.
It really, for me, it's been hit and miss. And again, I think much like Universal and Disney does, when it's the busy times, the food is a higher level, which is a weird thing to say, but when it's slower, I feel like the burgers may sit under the heat lamp a little bit extra long.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. So when it's fast, it's not under the heat lamps.
We don't know if there are any animatronic dinosaurs in there, Tammy. We know that it is the VelociCoaster and it's based off of Velociraptors, and we've heard that there will be Velociraptors present, but we don't know how long. So King Skull Island is at capacity.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you what the wait time was.
Yeah, I just looked up thinking, okay, ooh, yeah, there you go.
Holy cow. Yeah,
And
people love
while,
their King Kong.
yeah, I love that attraction, but that's a bit much. I'll go over and close my eyes on Fast and Furious and just eat a banana now and later.
Yeah. Now this stand has some cool food, right? It has like the banana slushy and all that.
They got the strawberry and slushy strawberry. No bananas, but giant
Aw.
hot dogs, yeah.
So it used to have a banana slushy that you could get there. It was really good.
I know, it's strange. And again, we're still in this world where everything we're used to isn't there because demand and availability. So hopefully all that will return.
At
Dudley
Toon
Do
Lagoon?
Rights. Yep. And Ripsaw Falls is down for its refurbishment. So they have their walls up.
Should be opening up soon, though.
Yeah, I would guess probably prior to next week. I don't have the exact. Oh, sunshine. The weather report is high 60s, low 70s. So it could be considered chilly by some, but when the sun comes out, it feels like it's high 70s. So we got a little bit of a roasting factor. And I can tell you, last week when I was here, oh no, that was Epcot. I do have a very nice mask tan line. So when this is all over, I need to just put a covering over my eyes and forehead and go out in the sun for a while so my lower half can get tan.
Looking at the weather right now, sunshine, it's showing 66 for me. The high is
Yeah.
70 today. So,
Yeah, when
perfect.
the like right now the cloud cover, and if we're in the right area, the breeze kicks in. It definitely feels cold, but it's beautiful.
Do you remember when that shop to your right hand side used to have computers that you could go on the internet with?
Yes, every
What a
time
time.
I go to the airport, the Orlando International, I remember there was an alcove that had computers. So when I get to the airport, taking the Magic Express, you get there like 5.5 hours early. So I would sit down and check my email from my whatever account. It wasn't AOL, but something, and sit there and just surf the internet because it was so cool to do. Now I'm like, I have my phone.
Now, is
They'll.
it busy enough, Jeremiah, for the burger place to be open?
It actually is. I don't understand it.
Wow.
Yeah, for those of you who've not been here, Wimpy's hardly is ever open. I don't think I've ever eaten here. Um, but it is, that's one of those like, oh, it's not open, so it's not that busy.
You may need to do a food report from there.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that one. Doobie, when he comes out, like they should really do the food reports from Universal. No,
Annie's
there are no.
asking about the raptor encounter and dinosaurs that walk around.
They don't
There's
have
any.
walk around dinosaurs. The Raptor encounter does have Blue. She makes an appearance, and there is a Raptor handler. And then if Blue is not available for whatever time, they do have one of the baby dinosaurs, a baby Velociraptor. But it's all in one specific area. The Me Ship Olive, which is an interactive play area, has not reopened because of high touch.
But
But
you could get cool views of the VelociCoaster.
I, for years, have been coming to this park and never realized. Oh wait, let's see if we can get one of my favorite spots. For years, I've been coming here and never realized this walk area back here, which is actually a queue. It's for Blutos. It's their overflow queue, which they never have to use.
Wow, yeah, I never seen that used. I've always walked back there though. It's really nice.
Yeah, and notice the attraction is open.
Oh, there it goes. Oh.
Nobody's in it. Yeah, it's a 5 minute wait, and with the 67-degree weather, people are avoiding it. Oh, I say that just in time, and there's a whole family with
Go
no
back, go back.
ponchos.
No Poncho family.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be entertaining right here.
Oh, this is a whoa moment.
Oh
uh,
wait, we got two in a row.
this never gets old.
I know. This is one of my favorites, and now the breeze is starting to kick up, so it is a little bit chilly. These people coming, I think one of them had a winter jacket on that I saw. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And of course, it's the one person with the poncho.
Oh, that is so glorious.
Yeah, that must have been waiting for that load because now we have a couple of rafts coming through, but all with like 2 or 3 people each.
Ah, yeah, you could get great views from over here.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those areas. You know, when Universal was built with a lot of detail and places to explore, things to see. Just a great place to spend the day. Right now, they have some of this closed off because of the work going on the VelociCoaster. But yeah, if this was running right now, I'd be standing here just filming all day long.
This is one of those places that is hidden, but not really.
Yeah,
But anyone watching, if you want to come over here, I mean, this is a place where you can get away from the crowds and just listen to some music, see the water.
and hopefully see the VelociCoaster.
Yeah.
Right here, this quick inversion, I cannot wait to go on it just for that. And the only complaint I have about this attraction is it destroyed the beautiful view. Like, it'd be like if they built a roller coaster in front of the castle when you walk in on Main Street. Because walking in and you'd see the visitor center across the way definitely drew me that way. But, uh, you know, putting a massive roller coaster that's going to have people screaming and hours wait, I will accept that over. Sorry, my phone decided it wanted to drop a second. Here comes the fun of reset the phone.
All the behind the scenes looks.
Oh well, one of the things that has happened a couple of times with us is Ward. We call my gimbal Word gimbal. Yes, I know, cheesy. Uh, his battery will die in the middle of a walk and talk, and you'll just see like, boom, and then I'll end up carrying it for a little while. Yeah, Gideon is the perfect poster child for the Discovery Center and the fun that can be had down there.
I mean, I even had fun down there.
Yeah. Well, there is a team member walking back and forth with a walkie-talkie, but no, he hasn't talked on it. There hasn't been any type of announcement, so I'm guessing we may not hear any testing. Of course, that'll happen as soon as I make it over to Marvel Superhero Island.
And that's how it always works.
Yeah,
Yeah, what a great spot right there just to relax. And usually don't have anyone in there, even when it's a busy park day. No one just knows it exists.
yeah, and you get to see Misha Olive and the lagoon. You get to hear Hulk. Yeah, they did such an amazing job for the. Speaking of the Hulk,
So cool.
did you ever see the horror film? I think it was House on Haunted Hill, the remake of the in the early 2000s,
Hey,
where
Bacon.
they uh, they actually use the Hulk coaster as the opening. The the guy is like a horror director, and I'm sure somebody can correct me on this. It's been a while, but they start off with this, and it's a newly opened attraction, and it comes up, and then this just disappears. So
I
everybody's
have
freaking
not.
out. Yeah, it's one of those like. I don't know how Universal approved that just because of the fear of it, but it turns out it's just, an optical illusion.
Jeremiah, how many times do you go to Disney a month?
Okay, let's see. If we're talking Disney, just the park, um, we do a walk and talk at least once a week. And I would probably say I go to the park once or twice on my own just to get updates. Let's see if these people. Nope, they're on the wrong side. Unless it bounces
Oh,
just outside the range. Um, so on a slow month, I would probably say maybe 12 to 15 times a month. Gideon, just wait until you're older. There'll never be too many. But on with Taste of Flower and Garden kicking in and the festivals and different things going on, I can be in the park 4 to 5 days a week. So the easy answer is too many.
let's go check out some superheroes.
You mean at Disney's Marvel Superhero Island?
Yeah.
So hold on. So these are the air dryers, the people dryers, and I would just like to point out the entire family that is in one of those. And then there is
I
a
mean,
line of people for these.
it's about $5 a turn, right? So you got to get
Yeah.
everyone in there. I will say I love this section of the park too, just with all the comic strips and everything going
Mhm.
on that we're going to be walking by. It's so well detailed.
Yeah, I just the sad thing is this was dated in the late 90s when it was built because comic strips even at that point were Sundays, and even then we weren't Sunday newspapers weren't the biggest thing in the world. And you could probably ask most people and they wouldn't be able to identify all of these characters or even half of them in some cases.
Yeah.
But it is a great area. I
I wonder if we'll see it get rethemed.
I think at this point we're going to be waiting until after Epic opens and hopefully 24, 25, and then I'm sure that they will. But you can look at these figures. They've just replaced some of these figures. You can tell how brand new they are. Where you're looking at this one and this one back here, brand new. This one has obviously been in here for a little while. That's the yellowing. Again, I go back to the Universal's been putting money in on the small touches everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Never been to Comic Strip Cafe.
I have. It used to be something unique. I mean, that was one of the things. I feel like Universal was the first park to suffer from the. We built it. It's amazing, but then 9/11 happened, and we saw this amazing detailed park fall, the fall from grace almost, and
Yeah.
where every restaurant had different types of food and something unique. It turned into the burger, hot dog. I don't think we have a scheduled walk and talk for this week, Sunshine. I don't know if Mike is doing anything in California, but I don't believe. Oh no, I take that back. Wednesday at 7 p.m. I will be walking and talking at Disney Springs for her story, to celebrate of her story, which is the Women's History Month, they are featuring female performers. We did a walk and talk looking at the focus of those, but this will be more about the entertainment out there.
Yeah. So it'll be 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern. There's Spider-Man.
Yep. And the queue is closed off for Spider-Man. Hello, Dimitri. So here we are, Disney's Marvel Superhero Island.
Part of
For
Universal Studios.
for anybody that is like, wait, why is there a Marvel Superhero Island at Universal? This was when Marvel had their fire sale in the mid 90s, and they just kind of sold off everything. Universal ended up with the comic rights, which is why all of these are the comic book looks of these characters. And then live action went to different studios such as uh, Paramount, Fox, and Universal ended up with the Hulk. And then Disney purchased, and over time, most of the rights. This is all technically owned by Disney. So Universal has to send Disney a check every month, so to speak, with some amount of money for the use of these characters. So it's one of those very interesting things that people could write their senior thesis on at some point.
I'm sure people have.
Yeah.
Well,
So
these are cool. I haven't seen these before.
this is one of the main. Um, Here we'll start. It kind of goes through a timeline. So we have Namor, which was one of the original characters, the Human Torch, Captain America, and Bucky. The other ones, I don't know. This is the time where I need Mac or Benji because I'm not the big Marvel fan. So this is the Golden Age. And then we kind of head in towards the Silver Age with Thor, Wasp, Iron Man, Hulk, and Ant-Man. And then more of the modern age with characters that I couldn't even identify if somebody gave me money. But you start to see like Storm in her X-Men days where she had her mohawk. And then Hawkeye, She-Hulk. And then we kind of get to the first family with Galactus, Silver Surfer, the Fantastic Four, the Watcher. And this is the weird part. So we have the Fantastic Four, and then we have the Fantastic Four. And this is kind of the mix of all the characters. And we have Scarlet Witch right here. Those of you who watched WandaVision know that costume now.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then original X-Men.
Oh.
These have gone through different stages. Like they change them out every couple of years and not update them, but clean them up. And for the longest time, there was the story that I always heard was Disney could use the rights to any character that is not on those pillars for like theme parks or in the Florida and California theme parks. But then you look at, they have X-Men now, so where everything's heading. You'll also notice that there aren't prominent Avengers. They have the different characters that make up the Avengers, but it's not the Avengers. The Adventures of Spider-Man, 45-minute wait. Again, I would probably rank this as one of the best attractions worldwide.
Very much worth that wait.
Yeah.
And the queue is really cool too. It's set up like a comic.
Yeah, the queue in there is one of those things that, usually, like you, when we, our normal lives weren't Monday through Friday. So coming here on a weekday, you could walk right through there, but I would like to spend time and actually look at all the details. Dr. Doom Fearfall. I always feel like this attraction is forgotten, even though it's one of the tallest and loudest.
It's very
Yes,
far in the back, so it's
yeah.
sometimes hard to get to, or you just don't know how to get to it.
So it sounds like the right one. There it goes. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Sunshine wants to know about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think the queue for Spider-Man is one of the best
I
here at
think it's good.
Universal.
For islands, I would say probably Forbidden Journey is
Yeah,
one of the
if you're a
best
Harry
queues.
Potter fan, Forbidden
Yeah.
Journey is a must-do. Yes, I mean here's little things that only some of in the day true comic book nerds would ever notice. The Nelson and Murdoch attorneys at law, which of course refers to Daredevil. But I feel like as the superhero genre blew up in the late '90s, early 2000s, and then continued to, well, last week, uh, everybody is kind of what was just comic nerds turns into mainstream. Have you ever eaten at the Fantastic Four Cafe?
I have. It seems like it's just like a burger pizza place again.
Yep.
Same thing with the Captain America one that's across the street.
The only thing that I prefer the Captain America one to is prefer that over Fantastic Cafe because there's more seating and they have the refillable station right there. So if you sit down close enough and you want to sit and eat and have some more to drink, that is the perfect spot for it. Stormforce Accelerator, which was the first attraction added to Universal Islands of Adventure after it opened, has been closed pretty much since the reopening, and they actually will use part its queue as queue for the Hulk.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm not going to make it around now. There we go. One thing anybody that is coming to Universal and Islands of Adventure should definitely keep in mind: you cannot take any type of bags, phones, keys on their coasters. They have complimentary lockers, and you will walk through a metal detector to make sure you don't have anything, just for the safety of other guests and yourself. So, coming with a big bag or everything you could possibly need can get a little tiresome. Putting in a locker, almost every land, you have to put your bags in a locker to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah, it's one of those little annoyances, but it's for a good cause. I mean, if you're on a roller coaster, you don't want your phone flying out and hitting someone. And as a guest, you don't want to get hit by anything either.
Yeah, and it definitely is um, something that is for the safety. And yes, it can be a bit of an annoyance, but again, everything can be a bit of annoyance. That's for to accommodate other people's safety and needs.
And yeah, that's what those nets are for, Sunshine, to help out in case anything falls, like a hat or glasses.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've come full circle. Um, nope, no VelociCoaster testing, so we're just going to end with this view. I'm going to walk past the Starbucks. Not that
Yeah.
Starbucks isn't great, but we don't need that as our final view. There we go. That's how we'll end this broadcast. Like I said, my next walk and talk will be on Wednesday. Do you have the schedule with you for today, Lee?
Yeah, you know what? Let me pull it up here. So we just had a walk through all the islands of adventures today. We got a Marvel Monday coming up, and that's going to be at 13:30 Pacific time. Then
That's
we got
1:30 for you non-military time or Disney people.
1:30 Pacific time. Yeah, and then at at 4 o'clock Pacific, we got a Disney Parks Talk Live. So we'll be going over all the Disney news. And then last but not least, we got a movie club. We'll be going over Raya and the Last Dragon, which just came out. Came out last Friday. We'll be going over that at 7:30 p.m. Pacific.
Yep, so plenty of time for today to come and join us later with lots of stuff. The Park and Talk will be myself, Mike from California, Doobie and Rebecca talking about everything that's happened in the past week in the parks and probably veering off into tangents that we have no clue where they'll go. So it's something fun to join us. Other than that, thank you, Lee. I'm glad I got a chance to walk and talk with you today.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremiah. It was fun. I mean, I love going to all the different islands with you. It was a great adventure.
Yep, next time we will see where we can do some Disney damage.
Yes. All right, it was
Okay.
good seeing everyone, and we will see you guys later. Have a
Peace.
good rest of your day.
Thank you.